What do you get when you combine plants, mineral wool, microelectronics, ecology, and software? Well, in my case, you get a career in green infrastructure. After I practiced landscape architecture for a number of years, which I link in the video above, I specialized in green infrastructure. I started this YouTube channel as a way of connecting with several of my real estate customers. Many of you are finding me online but might not know a whole lot about my background. I'm starting off the channel with a few introductory videos about what I did before real estate, but once I get that out of the way, then the channel is going to be focused strictly on real estate. There's so much of my background that made me who I am and also makes me unique as a realtor, and one of those things is my past experience in, of all things, green infrastructure. So what exactly is green infrastructure? Green infrastructure is using vegetated systems for ecological benefits. You might be familiar with some of these, like bioretention, rain gardens, rainwater harvesting. These are all systems that are using plants to provide ecosystem services. A lot of times this is stormwater management. Sometimes it is urban cooling, mitigating the urban heat island effect. Green infrastructure has a lot of other benefits, including urban habitat. My specialty within green infrastructure was green roofs and green walls, which in a lot of ways you can think of it as growing plants in places where plants don't normally grow. You might have seen houses that look like this. Maybe you've even visited some. You can find these in places like Greenland, Iceland, and Scandinavia. These sod roofs are a predecessor to the modern green roof. Modern green roofs are essentially a thin layer of soil over drainage, over waterproofing. They're usually growing a plant like sedum. Sedums are succulents, meaning that they hold water in their leaves, kind of like a cactus, like a cousin of a cactus, but without the thorns. Sedums are usually used on green roofs because they can take prolonged periods of drought. This is really important because one of the main purposes of a green roof is usually stormwater management. The green roof needs to dry out between rains so that when it does rain, it can soak up a lot of water. Here's an example of a green roof on the MLK Library in Washington, D.C. This was installed by Furbish, a company that I worked at in Baltimore for many years. Here's a few photos of some beautiful green roofs on some modern homes designed by architect David Jamison in Bethesda, Maryland, and in Washington, D.C. I love green roofs so much that I put them on my own house whenever I got the chance. Here is a tower that goes up to my roof deck with a 60-degree pitch. This green roof is so steep it's almost a green wall. Yeah, that's me up there. I am tied in. Don't worry, I have a harness on and I'm tied to the roof. Don't want to fall down. And here's a view from the roof deck. I put some green roofs all the way around the perimeter wall. I've got one other background video about design and construction of my own house linked right above. So where does mineral wool come into play? You might be familiar with mineral wool as an insulation material, but it's also used in horticulture and in green infrastructure because it holds a lot of water. While working in green infrastructure, I had the privilege of working on 2 different product launches. Both of these products were really innovative and both used mineral wool. One of them was called Purple Roof, which is an absolutely phenomenal product. You can see the full length of the animated clip that I'm showing right now at the video that's linked directly above. The majority of my work in green infrastructure wasn't making things pretty. I was focused on demonstrating performance, showing that they worked. And this is where the microelectronics came in. I ran a research lab in Culpeper, Virginia, where I am now. We did a lot of monitoring in outdoor conditions, exposed to the natural environment, but I think the coolest part was the rain simulator. We simulated everything from a drizzle all the way to hurricane-like conditions. We built our own monitoring equipment. We were measuring soil moisture, the weight of water in the system, nutrient uptake, drain down times. We built and deployed these systems using Raspberry Pis as our hub. I programmed the monitoring systems in Python, and I built user interfaces in JavaScript. I think I read this book 4 times. It really is an excellent book for learning the native language, not just frameworks. Yeah, this was a phase when I really embraced my inner nerd. I think it's great to embrace your inner nerd. But I also worked on green walls, also called living walls. These use some of the same technologies just turned up on the vertical. Most of the living walls I worked on were interior, including this one at the Dansko Shoe headquarters in Pennsylvania. These use tropical plants, and the one at Dansko used a lot of natural light, and there were artists commissioned to incorporate artwork into the wall. This one is just fabulous, and it remains my favorite. My favorite aspect of everything was working with regulators on getting the systems permitted and approved. I had to crunch a lot of numbers and work on physical modeling of the systems. This involved not only building user interfaces, but getting some products patented and publishing some peer-reviewed journal articles. I found green infrastructure so much fun, and I still have a lifelong passion for it. These days, green infrastructure is more of a hobby for me. I'm currently practicing real estate in Virginia. If you're interested in buying or selling a home in Virginia, you can contact me at bradgarner.com. The link is in the description. And if you're interested in content about real estate in Virginia, particularly around Warrenton, Culpeper, Winchester, Harrisonburg, then please like and subscribe.